Good morning students. Today we are going to deal on the topic that is anti-anginal drugs. It comes under cardiovascular system when the person having any cardiovascular disease, that is angina pectoris. For that purpose this anti-anginal drugs are given. So here is the definition of angina pectoris. It is a chest pain due to imbalance between the oxygen requirement of the heart and oxygen supplied to it through the coronary vessels. This means when the heart doesn't get enough amount of oxygen supplied to its normal functioning, at that time the person may gets an attack which is known as angina pectoris. So here are some types of angina pectoris. There are three types: classical angina, which is known as stable angina; second is variant or Prinzmetal's angina; third is unstable angina. Classical angina, which is also known as stable angina, it is a type of attacks that occurs at the time of exercise, emotions, or at the time of eating. Means when the person do any motion activities frequently, at that time the person gets this attack, which is known as classical angina. Second is variant or Prinzmetal's angina. These are the attacks occur at the rest or during sleep. Means the person gets this type of attacks when he is in sleeping stage or in resting stage. Third is the unstable angina. Unstable angina occurs due to atherosclerotic plaques. Means when the person's coronary arteries are filled with any plaques. Plaques is nothing but fat accumulation. At that time the person may get a chest pain known as unstable angina. So here are some drugs, anti-anginal drugs. It is classified into 5. First is nitrates. Under that, nitroglycerin, isosorbate dinitrate, isosorbate mononitrate, erythritol tetranitrate. Second is beta blockers. Under that, propranolol, metoprolol, atenolol. Third is calcium channel blockers. Under that, verapamil, diltiazem, nifedipine, nimodipine, amlodipine, felodipine. Fourth is potassium channel opener. Under that is nicorandil. Fifth are others. Under that, aspirin, dipyridamole, trimetazidine. So here are the goals, means for what purpose these drugs are given. First is to abort or terminate angina attack. This means when the person is already having the chest pain, frequent chest pain, to terminate that, to stop that anginal attack, two drugs are given, that is nitroglycerin and isosorbate sublingually. Second is for chronic prophylaxis. For chronic prophylaxis means for long duration treatment. For long duration treatment, under that, nitrates, beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, potassium channel openers and other drugs are given. So here is the mechanism of action of nitrates. When the person takes the nitrate drugs, after that it reaches to the smooth muscles and it gets denitrated. Once the nitrates get denitrated, it releases nitric oxide. This nitric oxide releases the guanylyl cyclase enzyme, which catalyzes or converts the GTP to CGMP. GTP is nothing but guanosine triphosphate and CGMP is cyclic guanosine monophosphate. This cyclic guanosine monophosphate releases an enzyme known as myosin light chain phosphatase. So it is an enzyme which is responsible for the contraction of the smooth muscles. After that, myosin light chain phosphate leads to myosin light chain where the phosphatase is not there. After that, this myosin light chain leads to relaxation of the smooth muscles. It is venodilatation, arterial dilatation and dilatation of coronary vessels. So here are some pharmacological actions, means the actions of these drugs. First is vascular smooth muscles. Under that, 3 actions are there: preload reduction, afterload reduction, and redistribution of coronary blood flow. First is dilatation of capacitance of vessels. We know that through the blood vessels the blood gets flow. So here first, when the person takes the drugs, it leads to the dilatation of the vessels. Second is pooling of blood in veins. After this dilatation, the blood is pulled into veins. This decreases the venous return to the heart. After there is a decrease to the venous return to the heart, it leads to decrease in preload. This leads to decrease in end diastolic pressure and decrease in oxygen demand. Second is afterload reduction. So here is the arterial dilatation. First we have seen the capacitance vessels, means the capacity of the vessel dilatation. In second we are seeing the arteriolar dilatation. In afterload reduction, the arteries get dilated and it leads to decreased peripheral resistance, which leads to decrease afterload, and the person have less, means decreased cardiac work. Third is the redistribution of blood flow, means there is once the coronary arteries get dilated and it also get relaxed, then the person gets less chest pain and it leads to redistribution of blood flow to ischemic areas in angina pectoris. Second is the relaxation of smooth muscles of the bronchi, biliary tract, and esophagus. So here are some therapeutic uses, as we have already know that for what purpose these drugs are given. So here are some treatment uses for what purpose these angina drugs are given. First is angina pectoris. We know that angina pectoris is a type of chest pain. It is given sublingual nitroglycerin to terminate an acute anginal attack, relieves pain within 3 minutes. When the person in angina pectoris, first point is sublingual nitroglycerin. When the nitroglycerin is given sublingually is nothing but applied the medicine over or below the tongue. After that, the person within 3 minutes, the pain is reduced. Second is oral or transdermal nitroglycerin for chronic prophylaxis, means for long-term duration treatment, it is given orally. Fourth is IV nitroglycerin for unstable angina. If the person is having unstable angina, it is given in intravenous way. Second therapeutic use is congestive heart failure and acute left ventricular failure. When the person may have congestive heart failure, which is CHF, and acute left ventricular failure. Here is the point: decreases preload and afterload, improves left ventricle if the left ventricular function, and pulmonary congestion. If the person is having congestive heart failure and acute left ventricular failure, these drugs may decrease the preload and afterload. Third is myocardial infarction. If the person is having myocardial infarction, then IV infusion may relieve the ischemic pain. Fourth is cyanide poisoning, and here are some adverse effects. First are flushing of face, throbbing, headache, postural hypotension, tachycardia, palpitation, weakness, dizziness, tolerance, Monday disease, methamoglobinamine, and high doses. These are the adverse effects of anti-anginal drugs. Second is the calcium. These are that all are about the nitrates. Second classification is the calcium channel blockers. Here is the mechanism of action of calcium channel blockers. First of all, when the person is given the calcium channel blockers, it binds to a subunit of L type of calcium channels and block their activity. Means the main responsible when the person gets chest pain due to the blockage of this calcium L type of calcium, means large type of calcium. at that time the calcium channel blockers drugs are given to that person to block these activities. It leads to decrease in transmembrane calcium current. After that, the smooth muscle gets relaxed, decrease contractility in cardiac muscle, decrease in pacemaker activity and conduction velocity. Once again, I am repeating the mechanism of action. When the person is given calcium channel blockers, when the person takes the calcium channel blocker drugs, it blocks the activity of calcium in the heart, which leads to decrease in transmembrane calcium current. It leads to smooth muscle relaxation. Means this heart smooth muscle gets relaxed, and the person may do not get the chest pain. So here is the verapamil, relative cardioselective, nifedipine relatively vascular smooth muscle selective, and diltiazem is the intermediate selective. So here are the drugs for what purpose? For smooth muscle relaxation. These drugs are given. Next therapeutic uses are angina pectoris, hypertension, cardiac arrhythmias. So these are the therapeutic uses of the calcium channel blockers. And here are other, in this slide we can see other therapeutic uses: hypertrophic cardiac myopathy, Raynaud's disease. You may know what is Raynaud's disease. This means the person feels numb and cool at certain places in the body due to limiting blood supply. Next is prophylaxis of migraine. In treatment of migraine, nifedipine as uterine relaxant in premature label. These are the therapeutic uses of calcium channel blockers. So here are some adverse effects of calcium channel blockers. When the person is given verapamil and diltiazem drug, the person may feel nausea, constipation, bradycardia, flushing, headache, edema, hypotension. Second, nifedipine, postural hypotension, palpitation, reflex tachycardia, edema, flushing, fatigue and dizziness. Thank you.